Alright, so we've made it to the tapping section here. That's quite an extended tapping section in Satch Boogie. So the first thing we need to talk about here is the pattern. He's playing a same tapping pattern throughout this entire section. So as soon as we get this pattern down, then it's just kind of just changing the notes of where we're playing at, but everything else should just fall into place. So let's get this pattern down very quickly. We're going to start the pattern with the first shape that he plays. You're going to tap. Everything's going to be on the A string, this 5th string. And you're going to tap. We'll start here. We're going to tap at the 12th fret on the A string. Then you're going to pull off to the 7, then 6. Then you're going to pull off to the open A string. Then hammer back on 6 and 7. So those are 6 notes. That's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. All right? So that's a 6-note pattern. We're going to repeat that one more time. So we're going to do that 2 times in a row, those 2 groups of 6. And then we're going to finish the overall pattern by doing the same thing, but we're just going to go down to the open string and stop. So that's 4 notes. 1, 2, 3, 4. So the whole pattern overall, what we're doing is 2 groups of 6 and 1 group of 4. And that's exactly the order that we're going to play the notes. So we have all right? So that's the shape. So that's the overall pattern. And you're going to do that pretty much twice on every single note group. So when we change the fingerings, you're going to do it twice on that new fingering and then twice on the next fingering or whatever. So that would be like this. Now it's kind of hard. It doesn't really sound like it because it's so slow, but if you get it up to speed, so you can really start hearing the sound of the song come together. All right, so just practice that pattern in one area over and over again until you feel like you've got it and you don't really have to think about the pattern anymore. All right, and then we're going to now start moving around. So after that, that is the first shaped notes that we play. So you're going to play the pattern twice there. Then you're going to move up to here. You're going to play 9 and 12 in the left hand, or the fretting hand, whatever hand that is for you. And you're going to play 15, tap 15. And then do the same pattern that we just did twice. All right? Then you're going to take your tapping finger and move it up to 17th fret. And you're going to take your fret hand and move it to 8 and 10. The same pattern once again twice. All right? So we have this so far. All right, now we're going to take the same pattern, but things are going to change just a little bit because we're going to have to move around. This is one of the only times in a song he does this in this whole section. We're going to do the same tapping pattern. We're going to start here at the 12th fret. And for our group of 6, what we're going to do is instead of coming back and hammering on the same 2 notes we just played, like that, like we were doing before, you're going to move this up 1 fret. So now that's a full group of 6. So it's just moving this up for the hammer-ons instead of doing them the same place you did the pull-offs. So that's 6 notes. And then you're going to do the same thing here. You just tapped at the 12th fret. Now you're going to tap at the 13th fret and do the same thing. Pull off, move up again in the left hand, and then move up in the tapping hand. And that's just going to be that group of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So all together is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, then we're going to come up and tap at the 15th. We're still going up 1 fret. And we're also going to move this up 1 fret. Now we're at 8 and 10. And we're basically going to do what we just did, but backwards. So we're going to start with a group of 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you see I tapped at the 15. I did the pull-offs at 8 and 10, but the hammer-ons were at 7 and 9. Then we're going to move the tapping finger down, of course, to 14. Pull off from at the 7 and 9, but then hammer on 6 and 8. Move the tapping hand down 1, 13, pull off to, and that's your group of 4. So from here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4. All together. All right, it's a pretty cool little part. Now we kind of start over again, just like we did at the beginning. We have the tapping at the 12, and then 6 and 7 in the left hand. Pattern was done twice, and then 9 and 12 and the 15 tap, just like we did before. All right, then we come to the 17 again, and then the 8 and 10 and the fret hand. So that started just the exact same way. Now instead of doing that skipping around section though, now we're going to continue the shapes but just keep moving around. So we're going to have after this, okay, after that last shape, we're going to move this up to 9 and 11 here, and the tapping finger down to 16. All right, and then we're going to move the tapping finger down to 15, and then the hand down here down 1 fret as well. So now we have 8 and 10. All right, and then we're going to move the tapping finger down 1 more fret to 14, and then down in the the fret hand, we're going to do 8 and 5. And then we're going to come all the way down to 11 in the tap hand and move up to 8 and 7 in the fretting hand. So let me do all that section. So this is basically the second time starting through here after that little section. We're basically starting over. I'm going to go from there. Okay, now we're going to the last section of this tapping part. You're going to come back up to the 17th fret. 17th fret tapping here in 10 and 12 in the left hand. Okay, that's done twice. And then move this tapping down to 16, and then the fret hand is going to be 11 and 12. All right, so far we got this. Let's do all that one more time. So that those two parts, those two changes together, they happen twice. So let's do them all twice together. Now we're going to do it again, but we're just going to make one slight little difference. We're going to do the same pattern, you know how we do each pattern twice on each fingering. Well, we're going to do it once here on this 17 and 10 and 12 here. Okay, so on that one we got that down fine. But on the second pattern, coming through it, you're going to start at the same one. So you see what I did, that second group of 6. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4. What I did is just to start that tap on the second group of 6, I moved it up to the 19th fret. And then back down to 17 for the group of 4. So we had this. Oh, sorry. All right. Then we're going to move it back down to the 16th fret and start the other pattern again with the 11 and 12 here. And we're going to do the same treatment we just did to the other one. We're going to play the first pattern just like we did before. But the second pattern, on the second group of 6, we're going to move the note up, and the tapping note up to the 18th fret and then back down to the 16th. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right? So those two together are this. All right, so all together we had that shape kind of 3 times up there. So, and then on the third time through is when we adjust that whole pattern. So the pattern's going to be normal twice, and then we're going to do that little moving pattern the last time through. So here we go. Now the alteration. And we're going to finish it now. We're back at 17 in the 10 and 12. That's just a normal pattern done twice again. And then we're going to move just the tapping hand. Nothing down here is going to move. Just the tapping finger down to 16. And you're going to do the 2 groups of 6. And after you do the 2 groups of 6, you don't have to do the last group of 4. You just pull off the 16 to the 12 and hold it. Then he uses some tremolo bar in it, and then he does it. Just kind of grab the 6th string and just hit it and just do a quick little dive bomb. All right? So that's pretty much all we need to talk about, except for we go back into the intro. Now the good thing is the intro is the exact same thing as go into the outro, I'm sorry. The outro is the exact same thing as the intro. So we don't really have anything left to learn except for the very last chord in the song. You know how we end the intro section, it ends with those 2 notes. And then it goes into all the solos. Well, when you get to those 2 notes again, you play through every single note the same way. And when you get to these 2 notes, instead of going like this, instead of holding on this A at the 5th fret on the 6th string, we're going to go, you're going to basically play that 3 and then shift up to the A. Instead of holding it, you're going to hit it staccato 4 times. Just, you can bring your fingers back down on the string or mute with your left hand or your right hand or whatever. You're going to pick it 4 times. And then you're going to hold this, this is an A dominant 13 chord. You're going to hold it, your first finger here at the 5th fret on the E string, the D string at the 5th fret with your 2nd finger, the G string at the 6th fret with your 3rd finger, and then your pinky is going to play the 7th fret on the B string. You can mute the strings, the 2 open strings with the bottom of your 1st finger. So we had and then he does some crazy whammy bar against the strings stuff we did like we covered earlier. All right, So I hope you guys had fun learning Satch Boogie. Just slowly piece this all these, especially this tapping section, slowly piece it together, and I think you'll understand it pretty quickly. And then it's just the timing of put your time in to get it up to speed. Okay, have fun. Bye bye.